Welcome to ACO Chess. We are doing the Grey Old tournament. So this is like the classical Lopez. It's a bit of a mix now, the way we've played it. I'm just hoping to get an original Lopez position where I can exploit some of the elements of the position. One of them being like now, for instance, these pieces are in a position where I can fork them. So this is just a blunder by Lee Bosch. So I'll get a piece here. I think he just played something he didn't know, and it's cost him now a piece. So now I can sort of simplify the position as much as possible. So yeah, I want to put pressure on this pawn on c5. So by putting my knight on b3, I should be able to do that. But here, first of all, I get rid of this threat of taking on e4. I'll try to keep the threats constant and flowing. So c5 is a bit tricky to protect. Because of maybe I should have tried bishop e3, it was better. Yeah. So what's happening here? This is probably more active. So context. Okay. So we need, oh no, not that. That would have been just a simple blunder. But can maybe take advantage of this position of the knight. I'm not sure what the idea is, but this cannot be right. I'll check and then think about it later. So yes, he has these pawns, but if I need to sacrifice something to give them back, I will do that. But for now, I'll take a piece and think about it later. Ali, welcome. How are you? Where are you from, Ali? Okay, so here, yeah, he has to come up with some sort of a plan about how he's going to try and, you know, make it make sense. So how do I, okay, I need to start also, okay, let's start with this. I need to start stopping the pawns. My next idea will be to play bishop here. The pawns will not be moving. Right now I'm just threatening deep one. The position is fairly complicated still for him to, he doesn't have to resign. He can try stuff, but technically it should be winning for white. I can't even speak of positional ideas here because it's just a question of converting if I can. So yeah, something like this should work. And yeah, knight checks. Okay, so he's threatening. He's threatening something. Let's first start with this. The knight, fortunately for me, is still defending f2, so he avoids that. But now I guess I can do this. b3. Okay, queen exchange is good for me. Just extra support to make sure that this pawn is not going anywhere. Let's make sure nothing comes alive out of the structure. I want to take as much as I can. He was planning something like this, but eventually we will take the pawn. That's the idea. The only thing that was still sort of holding the position together was the threat that he would maybe one day promote this pawn, but the knight is overwhelmed here. Yeah, he has to resign. He's a gifted young man. Krumel is also here. Hello, Hobek. Okay, let's see who else we've got. We've got Bapi. Bapi is leading with 4 points. I'm currently on third, Krumel on second. But there's quite a few good players here. Dr. Shabs is there. HC994. Okay, so we've played once and I won, but I don't know who this is. Okay, I'm just going to set up something against the king, against his bishops. Okay, so he will not really playing a particular opening, just developing pieces. And maybe he's made his first sort of minor weakness on h3. So I'm going to try and attack it. I wonder if it's worth it. I'm thinking of sacrificing one pawn in exchange for weakening his king position. Okay, let's try that. So I'm saying he can take a pawn, but I want to trade one of these bishops. And since he will be taking here, the king side will be very weak. So this kind of transition, we call it compensation. Okay, so first let's take here, let him take on e5. So obviously in his mind he's thinking he's scoring here. Oh, there's a nice trick also here. I think he missed this trick, that I will check here and win a piece. He misses this. So this is a mistake. I'm sure he just didn't see this. The player of his strength would normally be able to point to see this particular element in the position. I think he just relaxed. Okay, since I'm up a pawn, I might as well start pressing. So the queen and bishop, keep an eye here just in case this knight moves. There could be some disaster on the king. It's a possibility. And yeah, he starts this action with his queen. Okay, let's just bring the rook into the center. Centralization. I have to simplify the position. Although I'm material up, the problem in this position is he's got a lot of these pieces are very active. So if I go there, you play d4, I would have messed up. Interesting. Okay, let's just go b4, b5. We want to go b4. Abiyullah, welcome. I'm assuming it's an Arabic word. Okay, so here let's start with this. So here we discourage him somehow. He has to find a place for this knight. He does that. So here what I've done, this is called entombing. So it's a knight on the edge of the board. I just make sure it never comes back, unless maybe it comes back through another via. But it can't right now because of the queen. I also prevent this knight from coming here. The way you play against knights is just to deny them advanced outposts. So right now I'm letting him stew. It's not so easy to find moves here. Okay, I see you. I wanted to play this move anyway because I wanted to protect f7 so that this knight can go to this square e4. On e4, it was also putting pressure on d2. Okay, just asking him to go back. Now there's not really easy squares for safety in this position. Okay, again the bishop unleashes an attack on the rook, and here shut out the rooks. Okay, here we want to trade this knight which suddenly has become active. Majority of the time that's what chess is about, right? It's about monitoring activity of your opponent's material. Here I'm kind of discouraging him from playing pawn push, but at the same time I'm threatening knight takes on d2. Force. He does that. So this is why I was saying I was discouraging. Every time we keep on exchanging like this, bishop here. Now I'm going to put pressure on this pawn. The problem with weak pawns is that the moment you solve one pawn, the other one becomes weak. So right now I'm addressing this one. He has to figure out how to defend it. So I don't stop putting pressure on it, eventually you will crack. Now I'm going to put this rook here. It's called Alekhine's gun. It is frustrating to defend such a position. The only move is to maybe put the rook here, but then I move this one backwards. I bring this one to c3. I'm attacking here. Eventually his position will become tied up. He decides to play this move, which is ridiculous, but he's got an idea. But let me see if I can demonstrate why it's bad. I go check. Okay. Then I go here. Could have gone here with this idea, but this is enough. He wants to come and say check, but there is nothing there. I promise you. Okay, let's do it like this. This comes with this idea. Check, which I should have done already before. This wins. Gives me checkmate in one. Okay. Ketan N2 on top, Krumel and Bapi. They're not far away. This is a marathon, so you don't have to risk. Just have to play accurately. It's worked in the past couple of tournaments, so just make sure you're in the top 5 there. Okay, who are we playing? Abirana. Okay, I don't know what that is, but I think the handling is going to be the same. Go d3. Okay, queen e1. Okay, should have maybe tried to take with the pawn. Then that would ensure the weakness of c2. But yeah. Normally you sacrifice a piece here. I'm wondering if I need to do that here. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's enough. Okay. I'm putting a knight on g3 so that I push f5. Okay, so wants to push c4, which I also don't want to see. I guess he can push. Let's see. Then I've got this. I'm not sure if he's won by doing this, but I've got a few good ideas now. One of them is just bishop e3, rook a d1. Should be very good for white. This is an easy position to play for white. Okay, since he didn't do anything about that, I'm going to definitely implement it. Now I've got some interesting ideas. Bishop c5 is one, rook a d1 definitely. This is not an easy position to play as black, because he might not have counterplay here. And a whole lot of weaknesses. f5. This I don't believe in. Okay, I want to put pressure. Let him take the sum of the squares. Bishop f6. Okay. Oh, why I don't want that move. liberates the knight. Okay, let's go for some conctify. There are some positions which can arise, but they are very dynamic and not so easy to jump into if you don't study such similar positions. Yeah, this was one of them. Really?
Yes, I got 10 points.
That is unbelievable. Okay, so now he threatens my queen. I don't have a choice because it's a couple of pieces under fire. Okay. This got a good position. Cannot deny it. Because suddenly my pieces are just terrible. Okay. Okay, like this knight. And of all the pieces, I like this knight. It's just a menacing piece. I don't intend to keep my rook there anyway. Now I want to bring this rook here and bring that rook there. And I also have this threat. How are you? And then Lawrence Lim, welcome. Yeah, he's taking too much time here. I saw this idea. His idea is he's putting pressure here on G3. So I can start with this first, this defense, that's all. So all it does, defense, and this attacks. I like this move. All right. I believe in my position. Yep. What's cool about this is now maybe I can actually just take like this and bring the house down like this. Yep. Cannot avoid mate here. Or you can maybe sacrifice your queen, but it's going to be game over. Nice try. Okay, so I'm on third. My peers are jumping up. Oh, Chase is in second place. That's not my peer. Good enough. So on number one is, I think, a 13-year-old. On number two is a 9-year-old. This is embarrassing. We have to move. Okay, Faruqi. I saw Faruqi play yesterday. Okay, let's show up against Faruqi. brave move to play your bishop there. And Sraj, welcome. I want to push e5, so let's go like bishop takes, and then I can push this e5. Could be an interesting sacrifice. We try to sacrifice this pawn and see if he bites. Okay, he doesn't want to take free stuff. It comes with liabilities. Ooh, this is not a good idea what he did here. Because now I'm coming for his king. This does not help. Do I take with check? Yeah, I take with check. Make it interesting. I was going to take, then I realized he could play check, hide, and then sacrifice a pawn and castle, but I want to catch up with his king in the center. And this is one of the ways I do it. Do it with pizzazz. So here I'm just going to take on e5. Oh, he's not going to like how this is going to end. Check. Really? Me? Too aggressive? Okay, so let's attack his queen and find out where it's going. Where it's planning to go. Attacking my king was always... Interesting. Okay, but this was an interesting check. I don't want you to get away. Check. I don't want to take with my pawn because his king escapes. Yes, you can take here, I see you. But I'm hoping your king position. It's not so clear. But I'm going to try and take advantage of the king position. I see. Okay. The whole idea was to get me to look away from the rook. But I think I might have managed to stabilize. So I'm going to have to try and take advantage of the temporary. I see, it's nice. I'm not getting a break with him. And then okay, let's take him. d4 check. Check. Yeah, this should be. This is a mistake. He can't take because I've got rook c8. That's the idea behind. Okay. Play queen takes. This was never playable because of ideas like this one. Oh, I see, but it doesn't work. Eh? So again, queen takes now is this. I see you. Let's go like that. The idea was that if I take this, doesn't. Oh, I see. This guy is impressing me. Left, right, and center. I'm threatening mate. So he has to find a way. But this is just losing. The king was in such an open position that eventually you kind of pay a price for that. Greywood, I don't know if you're listening, but there's a player called Fahim trying to play. I think he must contact you. We're not being paid. There's no one for me to be paid with. Okay, someone comes through. It's Ketan. Played a few games, me and Ketan. Not ended peacefully. Okay, plays the Berlin. But he's mixing stuff. So you want to take advantage of the fact that he's a bit behind in development. I don't think he knows. I want to play something like this, d4. The difference between this position and the one in the Italian is that here he doesn't have check on b4. Okay, I want to start with this one. How is he going to defend all this? This is very fun. Okay. So queen here. Then bishop there. Not so sure this is a bright move, but Let's see what he has in mind. I want to tempt him to play knight b4, so let's provoke that by playing knight here. And he goes knight b4, then gives me this knight. But what I really want is this knight e4 idea, but he doesn't see it. So now I get this check. So this was the whole idea. No, the way he plays it so quickly. Okay. Okay, let's first start with check because it's forced. Oh, this is just suicidal, right? Okay, first we put pressure on the knight. This is a weird move. I want to play g4. Okay, g4. Okay, here I come and threaten mate. He has to defend with queen. And then I play knight g5 threatening last mate. Game over. I don't think Ketan will be changing this. Mate. Naf is fighting. I must say I'm impressed. Libosh is back. Krumer is there. Naf is there. Ah, thank you. Ketan, where are you from? Libos, okay, Libos, I'm going to give him e5, knight here. Is there something new in the scotch? This is theory. This is theory in this line. Johannesburg, welcome. Thank you so much. From first time chat, well done. Thank you. Welcome to ACO Chess. Hopefully, when there's tournaments between us. Oh, you're 12. Wow. I just realized I've played you a couple of times. Now this move actually, and I was in trouble very quickly. Okay. But I think knight b6 is the correct move. And there's c5 and ideas, bishop f1, stuff like that. Yeah, something like this. Bishop takes. And then I had to play something like this, I think. And then come to collect the pawn or something like that. So I think my compensation is like, you can't castle, or for now at least. That's the compensation. Oh, thank you so much, Ketan. I try. I spend too much time coaching, so I learn a few things here and there. So yeah, I think I can play f3. Yeah, I know what you're doing, but I don't think it works. I think it is the correct. So it's not really stable in the center to kind of carry out this kind of operation. I can take advantage of it because his queen is pinned against this pawn. So I'm going to play something like rook h8 if he goes e6, but also against e6 there's even f5, which is strong because it picks up the rook. Yeah, pawn takes the right way to do it. Okay. Okay, I defend c6. Now I'm also returning to take. What's he threatening? Is he threatening anything? Okay, he's threatening to take. He's threatening check and then to take. Okay. So he has to decide how he's going to deal with this. Okay, he prefers to do it like this. I start opening line. He has to castle, I think. It's kind of, it's forced. In this position, it's forced. I don't think this is the greatest of them all. The problem with castling is I definitely open up his king position, and from there it's open season. I think that's also what he's thinking, is that I take here. If I go queen, there, is it a good idea? It just doesn't feel good. Okay. Just world God. Oh, checking if we want to be famous. Fame is not really the thing that we're going for. Okay. So here, it's trying to threaten me with those things. Not really my thing. Okay. It would be interesting to analyze that one and see where theory ends, and I felt like I had an advantage. Oh yes, Greywood is actually in Caledon. Fahim, I hope you're listening. Greywood is in Caledon, that's why he can't approve you. I'm playing Gal Pro. Okay, so this is a slightly more complex way of dealing with the Petrov, and at least not the usual. So one has to think a little bit here. Of course, this just helps me. This is an interesting idea, but it's wrong. After bishop takes, I can even take on f7 if I want to check. And take on f7. Is it good for him? Take on f7, king takes and knight. Okay. A pawn in hand. Is it better this? Check. So here I castle, just threaten c5 because this bishop can be annoying here. We don't do it. Okay, it's trying to develop the knight this way. Let's do it like this. If he plays knight here, we takes, and we play knight here, forcing the knight to go back. Okay, not pleasant, but here temporarily I have to allow him to do this, but I'm going to gain a few tempi. It moves like this, like this. I didn't think of this move, but it's not the end of the world. But I definitely did not think of it. Okay, let's me defend here first. There's various ways of playing this. One of them is this way, but you didn't have to play d6, which I think is a waste of. So now I take with check, and I take again. You can't take here because the rook comes, but I'm taking too many things here already. Yeah, this is bed. From bed to mattress. Check. Okay, let me take a pawn. When in doubt, always take a pawn. I'm sure there's some saying like that somewhere. This move. Oh, I missed this completely. How could I? How did I do this? Assume it was clear. It's not clear. Okay. Quickly. And move suddenly when I open it. Okay, let's see how he does it. My opponent's weakness is that he does not fear creating weaknesses. Some people find it easy to just push pawns like this. Usually at the price, a huge price. The last person I played, there was something not right about that game. The way he played the first part of the game and the way he played the last part of the game, it's like two different people playing. Okay, here's a move. Eating a weakness on b3, eating a weakness on e3. Okay, the one on b3 falls. I know you wanted to do this, but I'm going to escape before you can say getting ahead. I want to yeah. Getting out of the way of any discoveries. I like the idea of taking a central pawn, but at the same time I'm hoping his knight come into the game. I'm still hoping his knight come into the game. Don't know why I didn't think about that. Oh, but this was a terrible decision, because now I can bring in my knight from the edge of the board. I don't care about the pawn, to be honest. I care about the squares. The squares are of more value to me. And but here I might have missed a small detail. Yeah, that one. Might be able to just survive it. I'm threatening knight c4. This is why squares are important, because with the quick knight in the center, there are a little bit more threats. Biggest challenge is how does it really support this. Okay, but this is very strong. Because I threatened the queen also at the same time. Full at the same time. Full at the same time. HC 1994. This was actually a nice game that he played, or she played.